match up to our tanks for some reason.
No, they just need to take our tanks, you know, Tridd. That's what happens. If you need to export them, import them, sorry, that's fine, go for it. It's good to see some familiar faces in other regions too, you know. That's what I like to see when I'm watching my NA West here and there. Young and Beautiful dropping out the gates, Choose Money crew as well. We got some DPS heavy teams, but Young and Beautiful, they're going to be opting for something a much more free orientated, which we know that they are good at from the start of the season. Not when Naga finds that kind of pick though. 2
picks coming in for Choose Money crew. Jonah and Yikwit's being taken off, and just to be able to stay above them with the Pharah, pepper rockets into them. Obling's Doomfist, not had much of a look in yet, but he's got 40% on the clock, so he must have been dealing damage somewhere to Young and Beautiful, who are, of course, going to give that reset and hand over the first cap to Choose Money crew.
Young and Beautiful know they have to make some changes here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Crandop change as well, otherwise he's going to get very bullied by Obling on this Doomfist. So he will make the switch over to the Monkey, meaning that sure, he can get away as quickly as possible, and Jonah over that Sombra, shutting down a lot of the mobility that is quite evident on the composition of Choose Money crew's side. If you can shut down Crocs early, he becomes just a rolling ball of literal ult charge.
Can't even roll if he's hacked up. That's what Jonah's looking to do on the Sombra. They've made a few changes on Young and Beautiful. Still going to be peppered by those rockets. Crandop getting away. The bubble will save him. Get him out of the line of sight. Mouse just sweet trying to find him. There we go. Obling taking out Jonah as well. Doomfist easily able to do that. Shut down the Sombra before he gets hacked himself. And this is just by the numbers for Choose and Money crew. Young and Beautiful throwing bodies at the point. They've only accrued that coalescence for the next engagement.
So easy for Choose Money crew so far. It feels very one-sided. Insane sleep dart from I'll Be the Best during the middle of that fight to actually sleep Jonah. I don't know if he just come out of invisibility either, which just led up for a very clean rocket fist. Now Choose Money crew sitting on 6 ultimates. Young and Beautiful, they've literally just got the coalescence running on here, Tridd.
Who's going to be dealing with Naga? Right now they can just try and mitigate the damage, but no one's really challenging him. That coalescence, too busy healing up the team to get onto the point to be used to go up into the sky, and now they can change the focus, now they're given an edge. They will get point control. Choose Money crew going to come back into this one, try and contest it. They bring Mouse back, Oblings use the rocket punch, go in with a meteor strike as well, wants to find the Lucio right on top of FD God. He never saw that coming, and Yikwit's again. Obling putting on a show for us, and we're in final fight territory. Young and Beautiful will have to sprint to the finish line if they have any hope of contesting.
You can be almost certain that Choose Money crew will be taking away Village here and now, unless Molfi can get off one nasty, monstrous bomb. But you know, Miles, he is just waiting in the wings right now, ready to throw open the curtains and unleash the EMP.
Just going to use it. Only hitting FD God, but that's enough. Obling takes him out afterwards. Managed to trigger overtime, get some bodies on the point, and Obling's been hacked up afterwards as Jonah's coming back in. They're trying to build up towards these ultimates, and Crandop, he's dealt with Mouse. Self-destruct on the point, trying to buy more time. Naga has to go away. The flip comes in. Oh, Joni just. Crocs coming in at the last minute to contest. They're going to bring Mouse back into the fight to keep the contestation going, but the flip comes in for Young and Beautiful. This round isn't over yet. Assuming Choose Money crew don't come in with a fast retake.
Really, really good early pick onto Mouse there. They knew who they had to focus, and now it's just clean up time. The rest of Young and Beautiful, what they have secured here is Jonah's EMP. It's going to be critical to making sure that Young and Beautiful stay in this fight and stay in contestation of Village. This is a really, really good comeback coming here from Young and Beautiful.
Now they're going to be able to get those ults online. Choose Money crew for the first time will have to attack the point and remove Young and Beautiful from it. Jonah's put the translocator way back. He's been tagged out by the splash damage of Naga because he's aiming at his team. Maybe wants to stray a little bit further away from them to avoid that from happening. But you see, he's just keeping his eyes on this aerial couple. He wants to potentially go for a hack and ground them.
Anti-air tool as well, in the form of the Coalescence, so they can be a little bit less afraid of Naga, but he still does have that barrage, so Morphic's got to be very wary of him. Make sure to check him early on.
Jonah's getting into the area. There's the hack on the Obling. It's going to be unable to get anything done with the shotgun pellets from his fist. And that's one kill down. They're still committing to this fight. Choose Money crew pop the Valkyrie, and Mouse is about to get an EMP as well. I'll Be the Best keeps himself up with the healing coming in from Gustav in that Valkyrie form. Sitting on the nano boost, ready to use. Choose Money crew need to slow this one down and wait for reinforcements, but they're going to go for the nano barrage. Naga finds free! And a D-Mech on the Molf to make it happen. The EMP layered on top. And Young and Beautiful have been dismantled. 99%. Overtime will tick down. There's nothing Yona could do about it. Village goes over to Choose Money crew.
But look, Young and Beautiful in such a good position to come back. Their EMP and sound barrier. Massive plays from I'll Be the Best and Naga there to get off that huge nano barrage within the point. Great target acquisition there from Naga too. In fact, during the entirety of that village stage there, very well played to them. But now Young and Beautiful, they've got a roof over their heads on Shrine. They're going to be a little bit less afraid of Naga on this Pharah.
There was a roof over their head of village. There's still sightlines to peek in there and get the shots, and if anything, Blank, there's more of them on this particular map because it's not the enclosed walls, there's just pillars supporting that. So many windows, so many avenues to try and get those rockets in and just pelt Young and Beautiful as they move in this tank heavy composition. Difference being this time around, Yiquid's on the Roadhog. He's going to have that hook to try and shut down one, if not both, of that aerial combo.
We are seeing quad tank of old, and yeah, you're completely right. That hook is going to have to be huge here alongside Molfig trying to shut down Naga, but it's not just Naga that's doing the work. You're also seeing Obling, and one of the major ways they shut down Obling before was through that hack. Jonah's on the Zarya now. They don't have that option available to them anymore.
Crocs is just stalling on that corner. He's waiting for the right angle for them to come out. He knows where they are. Now he's going to commit the pile driver to it. Jumps into the middle, knocks them all up. Mogs found Naga in the chaos. They're going to roll on through and get out of there because SMC can't compete. This quad tank, the Slambulance, has come knocking on the point, and they're going to try and take control as they get Crocs off after he tried to stall it out a little bit longer. First cap going over to Yap.
He says Lambulance and the Sirens really were going for Stu's Money Crew as soon as Naga got hooked out from the sky at the beginning of that fight. You mentioned the beginning, it's definitely come in handy there for Young and Beautiful. Getting some ultimates online too. Huni surviving throughout. That means Coalescence online very early.
Mid-hack for Yiquid's going to shut down Miles. No chance to translocate. And he's burning even more time for Stu's Money Crew, and they're just accruing more percentage for themselves.
And like you said, there's a lot of angles for Naga to play around, but there's a lot of angles for Young and Beautiful to play around, giving them sight lines and just peeking available at Naga. So he's very afraid when he's approaching this point, whereas before on Village, he had a lot of room where he could just deny the sight of him, deny the vision, and just go for a very aggressive push.
There's that Coalescence looking up in the sky. Moth will find a kill, but there's the EMP to shut it all down. Crocs taking out Crowned Up, goes for the knock, wants to take him off the map. Don't believe he was successful. The hacked up member of the team trying to run away. Crocs will put the minefield on the point. He just peppers Yiquid's with damage. Looking for the flip round, but Young and Beautiful are trying to milk everything they can at this point. Hooney's healing orb, not going to be enough for him as Naga gets that final shot on the Mole. Flip at 60.
What an expensive fight. Naga even investing the barrage towards the end there. Maybe not necessary. Young and Beautiful coming back with the bomb. They got the whole hog. Jonah will make the switch over the Sombra, knowing that you know that hack is really necessary here. And he wasn't getting as much value on that Zarya because by the time Stu's Money Crew had come in to attack them, they were already gone. So those protected barriers just weren't getting a lot of value for them there. Yiquid's currently sleeping, so we'll have to delay this push for a little while, Tridd.
They got plenty of time to play with. It's only at 30% for SMC as they'll walk out with that under alcove. Crocs in the position for the pile driver. Won't secure a decent knock-up. They hacked him up afterwards for his troubles, and Obling's being picked off from the side. Rooney there with the Coalescence trying to heal Morph, but he can't be fine. And unfortunately, Yiquid's there with that hook. He's doing everything he needs to do on the Roadhog. He wants to try and call out the corpse, so Gustav can't go for the res. He's going to go for it anyway, misses out. Even whipping out the pistol for the battle mercy, but the the hack will ground him. He gets away from that one. Gustav should not be living there. The result's still the same for Yao. They get the flip over, but you really need to punish that mercy more.
It's a little cheeky, isn't it? But Gustav does get away. Nice little bit tech from there. Just bouncing around, even despite being hacked during that. Jonah, incredibly low, needs to stay alive because the EMP will be the main closer for this point here, Tridd. Crammed up with the Shatter too. You know that the EMP Shatter has just been a pinnacle usage of ultimates during the entirety of Europe Contenders.
Bit of monstrous combination. Mouse is there. Shatter already been committed down. Actually managed to hit Crocs and stop him from moving. Hack comes in off to the side. Naga's taken out one. Mouse not finding the opportunity to use this EMP. He might not have to just yet because they're trying to do it without. They've committed the nano boost over to Naga. But the point's pretty much clear. They just need to deal with Molf. Ults are going everywhere right now. Now Young and Beautiful, they're reinvigorated with the sound barrier. They've even got the hack onto Naga to ground him and get themselves back on the point and remove Gustav as well, who's no longer going to be able to support him. Crocs has come back sweeping. There's the hook again. And there's nothing to shut him down as the EMP coming out a smidgen too late for Mouse. It's 99%. The overtime's ticking down. Crocs will come in for the recontest as well as Obling. But he's going to be removed just as fast. Young and Beautiful going to tie out Nepal and force us over to Sanctum.
Now looking at FD God during both these sub-maps so far. I was a little bit questioning of what he was doing, where he was placing himself, but he seemed to really bring it up towards the last 50% at that point. And that fight was won solely off the back of FD God at the beginning there, where so much pressure came onto him and Shoes Money Crew invested so many cooldowns trying to kill him, and still a well-placed boop onto Obling and really good knowledge of the mechanics of his own hero were able to get him skating away to freedom and come back on the sound barrier. So very well played to him to give his team the chance to close out that point so very early.
Going over to the goats for Young and Beautiful. We stay in this game, SMC. Now I'm going to run over to that double sniper combination. Triple sniper, if you consider Anna in that role as well. Yes, she is a support, but she does use a sniper rifle.
She does. She's very well renowned for it. Young and Beautiful's main prerogative here and their win condition is to get close enough without suffering too much damage. That's the major issue that Young and Beautiful will be pushing into here. So it's down to Yikwid and Jonah saving onto those armor packs and the projected barrier to make sure that Krandop stays alive. And Jonah too, to not take massive headshots like that.
Got dinked. Had to give his barriers over to Krandop while he jumped in. To be frozen up afterwards in the air as well. There's another barrier to save his life. So Jonah really working in tandem with the Winston, but it's not available to keep Krandop up any longer. And that damage coming in from Shoes Money Crew. Just able to peel Young and Beautiful off the point. When Obling can keep hitting shots like this, there's not much that Young and Beautiful can do about it, and they're going to take that first capture.
Now they are. Eventually this will flip over to Shoes Money Crew. Didn't have to use too many ultimates there, just the Dragon Strike, and now they are charging up to some more. But look at Young and Beautiful. They really did not get much value whatsoever from that push right there, Tridd. Only Huni who's been putting the work here is towards that Transcendence, and that will be integral to making sure they can keep hold of this point. Obviously, Shoes Money Crew, they only have the Halt to pull the Transcending Zen off the edge, so he should be pretty safe, but just sticking on the point for the time being, giving all that healing to Young and Beautiful.
And they're peeling around the backside here to try and remove the entrenched SMC and try and catch them in the transition. Croc's going down very low, but he's being sustained out by Gustav. And the help of I'll Be the Best as well, who's now popped the Valkyrie to stay up in the sky. Yikwid's not going to be found out by the Storm Arrows. Now gets the D-Mech onto Molf. They're throwing the Blizzard into the confined area, turning into a bit of an ice cave. He will drop down behind him and try and get the kill. FD God with a Soundwave to disrupt the angles, but he still finds the headshot onto Huni. Puts the wall up. He wants the Frog to get away, but he's still on fighting. Naga will find him out as SMC still keep control of this point.
Naga played a really good role in that fight there. And such a creative usage of the wall in Horseshoe. He actually used it to prop himself up and pass himself into Mega. So really, they could never pin him down despite everyone being in there for so long. You're Beautiful now. They are coming up on those ultimates that they were looking for before. But Shoes Money Crew, look how much percentage they've already accrued. Maybe it's too little too late.
Crowned up a little bit late through the door there. The increase in size couldn't fit through the door frame just as he wanted. Now he's going to start batting Naga in the corner. Gets the ice block out of him nice and early. Defty God moving in. Putting a lot of damage onto him. Not found the kill. And now the sustain from Gustav will keep him up. Obling trying to get above him. Jonah went down. He's not going to be able to bring that Graviton Surge to the fight. Will still get the flip for Young and Beautiful regardless. Then I just have to deflect Shoes Money Crew. Buy some time for Jonah to come back with that all-important ultimate. But all sitting down here, and they've been found out by the scouting arrow. The damage being pumped in from behind. Obling stunned as he tries to ascend out. Will still find a way to get out as Mouse takes Krandop out from afar.
Easiest position there for the Blizzard, but it's mainly used to just keep them inside Horseshoe for much, much longer. 89%, this could potentially be last fight. So Jonah is investing the Graviton.
He has to invest it. They got no choice, and they will still get control of this one. Deny the flip. Self-destruct in front of the barrier. Now clears that out, and it's out of sync. Crocs has nothing to hide behind, but he doesn't need to. Amplified healing, he's getting a pocket. He had the nano boost and even survives the environmental to cling to this point and remove Krandop. They're going to get the flip in. 89%. Young and Beautiful have to run fast.
Young and Beautiful, good news for them. They forced out a lot of ultimates from Shoes Money Crew, but like you said, they've got to be fast right now. Huni has the Transcendence, but 3%. Someone has to touch.
Who's going to be? Molf goes in, gets up and up above. There's the Dragon Strike through. Transcendence should tank out or out heal. A lot of that damage as Jonah's already been found out by I'll Be the Best. No flank coming in on the Tracer. Krandop's been denied the healing. Yikwid will get hold of Naga as they're stepping onto the point now, but they need to deal with the damage coming from afar, and there's no one to contest it. Molf's now been removed from his mech. He's not going to do anything. You got Yikwid in the corner, dodging out the damage until that headshot finds him. Denied the healing by the biotic grenade. I'll Be the Best has been on point. Shoes Money Crew have got just that in their pocket. deal with Jonah, and you can walk away with the first map win. That is until FD God comes in, and they will get the flip. They booped him off.
Big hero play. Now, Obling, the nano boost is running out. He did not get a lot of value. It just crunked up off the edge. He's gone. Great boot from Gustav there.
There's no more grapple hook for him. They're still going to keep on fighting this one. Overtime, in effect for Shoes Money Crew, they got the flip as Crocs finds 2. And now Moth's on his way back in for the pile driver to knock him up. The CC is there. Yaba throwing everything, but nothing is sticking to this. Crownor will pop the adaptive shield, taken out by Obling from afar. The Blizzard should cut off any further routes of ingress. SMC walk away with Nepal.
Massively close there, Tridd at the end, but Shoes Money Crew look like they just have the edge slightly, and I think a lot of that comes down to just the massive price they have on the damage roll of the rest of their players at the moment. Naga is having one hell of a game. It's crazy so far, so hopefully in these more payload-orientated and point-orientated maps to come, maybe the free is going to pay off for Young and Beautiful. For the time being, Shoes Money Crew, they're looking very, very solid.
Do you want to be clinging to the past, though, Blank? We've already known after yesterday's broadcast that 2-2-2 lock will come into effect for playoffs, so maybe these teams might want to consider looking to the future, because if they can qualify on 3-3 but not on 2-2-2, they're not going to have a very long playoff season at all.
No, not at all, but one thing that will be also short is the break that's going to come at you right now. We'll be back with you very shortly.
Welcome back, everyone. Contenders Europe on your screens. We're jumping into map number 2 very quickly. Temple of Anubis is our next stop. And SMC EU, of course, leading the series after winning out Nepal. And there was a couple of clutch moments coming in. Yab scraping out that third round by, of course, getting a stall that even you weren't able to predict, because it just shouldn't have happened.
It really should not have happened. I think that's down to Miles just being a little bit out of position there. And because he lost the EMP early, wasn't able to pull the trigger on that, and his team just weren't in a position to follow up afterwards, because the way they were positioned was like to drop on the EMP as soon as it happened. As soon as Miles is removed from the equation, right, your whole plan just crumbles to pieces. So really, Yab got either it was a very good play from Yab or a bit of a misplay from Miles there, and we really can't tell in the fast-paced moments right there. But we are going to Temple of Anubis now, a map where Widowmaker is very, very strong. We saw Miles was actually popping off quite a lot there alongside Obbling on the Hanzo. So you're most likely going to see a bit more of that here on Temple of Anubis. We saw it yesterday, and I think we'll continue to see it today.
More of the same on the menu, potentially. Yab, they don't want more of the same, though. I think they're tired of being sent down for trials. They're in a good spot right now.
Stop it.
Then go ahead and get a win over SMC today. It makes it all the more likely we'll be seeing them in our playoffs and potentially make a run further up the ladder for the honor of representing EU at the Gauntlet. Also on the menu for Shoes Money Crew, they want the exact same thing, albeit they are a little bit behind for now, so this win is
just a little bit
even more important for them. So picking up that first map win, definitely the right direction to go on this one. Going to be seeing Yab just carrying behind themselves, getting ready to go for that offensive move. It's SMC on the defense first, and we saw this yesterday. The use of the Junkrat potentially coming out from Naga here, but of course it was AFOX who jumped onto it, a support player who went for it last time.
It's a super interesting pick. I think it's extremely pointed that Naga's on it. Obviously, he's sticking to the projectile role. The flex support, you're not getting that.
Yeah.
I love the projectile role. But what it's all about here is just creating a ridiculously tight hold here on Young and Beautiful as they try and push through, because there's only really two places you can go as you push in Temple Anubis. You either go to the left side and push through to Mega, or you push through the right side and go to the high ground. So really, Shoes Money Crew want to limit those options as much as possible with the walls and corral them into the projectiles of Naga and the sightlines of Mouse.
Funnel them into the grenades, the tiny little cricket balls of death. This Naga will be dishing them out, bowling them for 6. It's not what you bowl for. It's got the cricket messed up. There's the grenade jumping in onto the back line, the Iquids. Just going to put everything on ice for now. So they hide around the corner. They will have to try and approach forward and hopefully get that shield advantage. Storm Arrow going to see to that as it demolishes SMC's cover. They're going to split up now and let Yiquids go on the flank, trying to find some crossfire. SMC are giving them all the space they want, though. They've all backed off the back.
Yeah, the young prodigy Yiquids was very, very important for Young and Beautiful to actually get some of the wins off on Shrine there on Nepal. So perhaps he can start to pop up again, but they're paying him a lot of attention here on Temple of Anubis already.
Walked right into the trap of Naga, as you can expect, and now he's going to be playing around with the rest of his team. Young and Beautiful will get a return pick onto Miles, but Jonah, he just walked straight into it.
What was that?
Mine into explosive, and here comes the Riptire online. Going on the hunt for Yab, and it instantly bursts out Hooney, shutting down their offense if it wasn't already.
I think they were conscious that maybe FD God was going to go for a res there, especially because he popped the Valkyrie to get into position. That is a large pick from Krandop onto Obbling. Obviously, the Resurrect just went on cooldown, and now Young and Beautiful can get a quick reset. They can actually get in. Another excellent shot from Jonah, and Naga's nowhere in sight to pick up on that one.
But he can't even reach up that high. The aerial position he operates right now. Naga's on the ground level. Supercharger will boost his damage. Not needed. His Crocs will just spray down Morph after he got demeched. Going to keep him topped up in the corner. Krandop trying to take the air with Junkrat, but Crocs again. He seems to be the team. No one's paying attention to the Orisa, and he's being given time to deal out heavy damage from that LMG.
Crazy good positioning from Shoes Money Crew. You put Naga in the corner, he uses the tiny little foothold that he has to basically create a lot of damage potential there. And like you said, you're just not focused on Crux, who gets the nano boost. Now he's outputting a ridiculous amount of damage.
Another win in that Widow duel for Jonah. Mal's not finding an advantage in this particular duel, and forcing Gustav to use that res on him very early before the main fight's even begun. Liquid then throws the Dragon Strike through the fight to try and split up the team. Mouse, there we go. Finally claps back with a shot onto Jonah and takes him down. Finds FD God as well in the skies. Pops out the Venom 9 to get some information. Young Beautiful shut down again. They've only got 1 minute on the clock, Blank.
Crazy good plays from Miles so far on this Widowmaker. You know this is the character he wants to be on. On Zarya, he looks a little bit more shaky, but here on the Widowmaker, he looks as solid as ever.
Obling getting up to 80% right now, so they made that switch over to have that EMP available for them rather than rely on that Mei. So that's going to be a huge shutdown potential for Yab coming into this next fight because they're probably only going to get one more.
Indeed. Infrasight comes through. They will have all the information. Like you say, Tridd, this is going to make it very easy for Naga to set up an excellent Riptire. And Crocs, look.
There's the hook. The hook pulls him in. Mal's already been taken out, so that means that Young and Beautiful have the advantage. They're going to commit the whole hog, deals with Crocs. Now SMC have lost their main tank position. Naga comes in. It has to be big. Will be taken out by Yikwit in the Storm Arrow. That was the comeback potential for SMC. They still have Obling's EMP, but they might have to sacrifice it and use it to kill the momentum running into the second point because they're going to concede point A and let Young and Beautiful live a little bit longer.
That's exactly what's going to happen there. And I think it's really good plays here from Huni. He knew what he had to do. The big win condition of Shoes Money Crew was there was the fact that they could get the nano boost off onto the Orisa. So instead, Young and Beautiful like, we're going to pay as much attention as possible to the Orisa, get in there and quickly finish her off using the whole hog and pushing her away from the shield that she's just set up that she's going to try dance around afterwards. Like you say, though, there is an EMP now in the way. Infrasight will give the Sombra no opportunity for ingress because they will see her as she's walking around in invisibility, and they're just going to walk away from that supercharge for the time being, give Shoes Mariko a lot of space.
Naga's found Jonah, so that momentum we were worried about, they don't even have to kill it. The EMP is going to be there available for them. Young and Beautiful is still staying forward though because they know they can get the reinforcements fast, especially when they can just res him with FD God. So Obling's going to stay off to the side, get the information he needs, and find the right time to strike. Really, he wants to catch Yab after they kind of committed to the fight already.
Obviously, Obling will be giving a lot of information across. This is the perfect time to go for an EMP. Drops it now.
Going to land 3 members, and then Naga follows up onto Crandop. He's going to take out that main tank already. Yikwit returns back onto Naga, trading 1 for 1. As Young and Beautiful have got themselves a position outside the Spore Room, so they can sever the resources, sever the resupply, and look to then contest the point.
This is just denying Obling. He cannot get out of the spawn. Out comes the Dragons. This could be large.
He's going to pass it through. Out the other entrance, finds 2. 2 of the snipers, just need to find the 3rd. Where is he to be found? Naga dancing around somewhere, and they're going to go in for the Battle Blaster, forces Yikwit off the high ground. The kills are still coming in for Yab, and now they're starting to set up on the points.
Problem is, though, there's only 3 members on the point right now. The spawns are so close. Great pick from Yikwit.
Obling's the only one standing. Now Crocs comes in on the Wrecking Ball, but he's in the corner. Will Pile Driver to disrupt that clear line of DPS. Gustav comes swinging in. They're going for full stall on SMC. Mouse has switched over to the main. Naga onto the Tracer, but they have to get bodies on the point, and the self-destruct means they can't. Gustav being caught off guard, and Yab will complete Anubis.
Ridiculously good plays there from Yikwit, despite being under adamantine pressure from above there. He's able to just come out of nowhere, get some good picks off. And like I said, the big problem was only 3 members of Young and Beautiful on the point. There's a massive spawn advantage here on Temple of Anubis point B, and what Young and Beautiful were able to do so well is as members come out, they pick them off immediately, reduce it down to another 3v3. FD God gets back that 50 HPS from the Ampit up, keeps everyone nice and healthy on the point, and they just command it there forward. So it was very clean towards the end from Young and Beautiful, but we got to remember what happened on point A. That was a little rough for them, and I think a lot of that comes down to Naga. He has been playing exceptionally well today.
Naga forcing Yab down to the wire there with a minimal time back from point A. It is now on Shoes Money Crew to go on the offense, and Naga still keeping with these explosive heroes, could be rolling out on the far here.
You want to see it, though, right?
You love to see it.
You love to see it. You saw him here on Nepal, and he was making some big plays, but Shoes Money Crew will have to wait and see what they come out with. Obviously, they've got a Bastion in there. Not sure if that's going to come out as of yet. But Young and Beautiful, they will be playing this free composition with the Winston and the Ana. A lot of this, again, boils down to the Winston trying to get early advantage by getting that Tesla cannon off, try and build up as fast as possible that Primal Rage, which is a massive space creator, especially on a point like point A of Temple Anubis, where it's quite cramped. But Huni, Jonah, Yiquid's going to be very conscientious of where Crandop goes. And Crandop cannot get too aggressive or he will just feed his life over.
He's going to use that leap nice and early to get back to the platform. Naga spotted him out. Start going to layer that damage onto Young and Beautiful. We'll try and trade out the Widow Jewels, and Obling's going over to the Brigitte here. It's an unusual pick for SMC to roll with this particular composition.
It's an interesting pick indeed, but I kind of agree with it. If Crandop ever tries to get close, they can just stun him up and just lock him down with one well-placed headshot from Mouse, followed up by a Farah rocket from Naga, and just remove him from the equation. So if they can get it to work, it's great. But so far, they are beginning to struggle.
Young and Beautiful are giving them a lot of room to play around with, though, and that's going to be a bit of concern because Naga can take any angle he wants and really abuse the full 3 dimensions of this map. 3 minutes remaining, and they're already touching the point. They've given up a sizable amount already, not quite getting that first third of the pie. And Mal's got these long sight lines to play with as well. If Yab poke their heads out too far, they're going to feel the hurt, just like Jonah.
They're just cycling out the tanks at the moment, though, and using the overwhelming sustain of Huni and the Nano Boost to keep them on the point for the time being. Tesla Cannon is going full wild.
And it's going to accelerate that ult percentage gain, and that's exactly why SMC are backed off now. Crandop's still only at 60%. An objective for them was to get the Primal Rage online, and they're playing around that and denying it. The bubble will only last for so long. We'll get the healing in. A Nano Boost of their own goes on to Crocs, who's on the high ground. I'll be the best finds with the Bionade, and Yiquid has already been removed on his own Brigitte. After they cleared out the rafters, they drop down to the main point and start looking to capture point A. They continue to get the kills. They'll get everything they want and more.
Miles is so accurate. And I think the major thing that happened there was, I think Naga got a great concussive blast on the high ground to Huni, pulling him off from there and relative safety, in which case that was the go button from Shoes Money Crew. 6 minutes 5 on the clock, Tridd. Shoes Money Crew coming up on the Valkyrie, the Rally, and the Mines, which will all but encompass point B over here. You know, Beautiful, they're going to have to make these tank ultimates work if they want to survive here on point B.
You've got to grab. That's the big one, right? You may want to commit that up high. Try and look for a way to get yourself an early kill onto the aerial units. Cross going to dive in with the pile driver. They've already found 2. That might be enough for SMC to run in this one. They drop the mines down. Graviton Surge stops the reinforcements following up onto Crocs. But a huge anti-nade makes it possible for Jonah to be killed and for the D-Met to come in and mold. He plants the self-destruct up high, but everyone has plenty of time and composure to get away from that one as they now look to contest the point.
How is FD God dying to the mines? And Crandop cannot even get off the Primal Rage. They needed that to storm the point. Cross is 14, this might be it, Tridd.
It's just in here, going to pile driver and keep Mol from getting in there clean. Finds I'll be the best on the back line. The barrage just hosing down anyone who goes near. Sound Barrier comes out in time by FD God just to make sure they stay alive long enough. But Gustav's going to bring I'll be the best back in, so they have that reinforced healing. Mal's found out on the back line. Finally, Obling will be the one to shut down Molf as Naga goes on to the retreat. It looks a little bit shaky, but Young Beautiful, like, I think they've done enough to deflect this attack.
Really well played there from Crandop. Sure, he had a bit of a shaky start there where he got his Primal Rage stopped, but he held on to it. He didn't pop it too early where he was just removed and he failed on ultimate. He trusted his teammates to hold on to that point enough for him to get out. And then he does a very interesting thing, and he focuses on pushing Naga and Gustav away from the point, knowing that the damage coming out from those Farah direct rockets is really affecting Young and Beautiful, and without them, Huni can actually safely keep everyone alive for FD God with the sustain they bring to the table. So I really love that play from Crandop, but now they're running into 5 ultimates of Shoes Money Crew. It's going to be one gargantuan hold from Young and Beautiful.
Thankfully, Crandop stays in LOS of Huni long enough to get that Nano Boost, but the healing's been denied. He's got 20 HP, has to run back to the spawn room, but Naga's found 2. The tank line's in disarray, and no one bothered to touch the points. That's going to be a capture coming in for SMC, and they're going to have way more of a time bank to play with than Yab do.
That's the second time Crocs has done that. Laid the mines in the exact same position where it cuts off the spawns. And you saw Crandop jumping back and he was like, whoa, there are his mines everywhere. Like, this is not a safe retreat like I expected it to be. Really well played for Crocs. Yeah, we didn't see him too much on the kill feed, but I think he was creating a lot of pressure, denying a lot of space for Young and Beautiful to be able to play in. And almost, it is double the time bank here. Young and Beautiful, they cannot falter here on point A. This has to be quick because we've seen how many teams go to die when they don't get the quick point A and then get at least 33% on point B.
took longer than 2 minutes 7 to capture point A on the last attempt, Blank.
I know.
We'd like to think that they learn from the mistakes and can kind of adapt, but in the same vein, SMC were like, okay, well, we beat them, but there's room for improvement still. What did they try to do last time? Okay, well, let's maybe put Naga in a different spot to act as bait like he did last time. Let's maybe let Crocs just run wild again because they seem to not care about what's going on.
And what can Young and Beautiful improve on? Can we just force Yiquids to pop off again? We need to improve his potential to do that? It's a little unfair. So Young and Beautiful, the rest of the players, they need to start stepping it up and not rely on Yiquids to get these amazing picks at the beginnings of fight. Not to put down any of the players, but I really do think they cannot rely on Yiquids every single time here. Choose Money Crew, as a team, they've been performing exceptionally.
Looking for that sight line now. We'll go up and deny any hope of that. That's only temporary. Now they can cower behind the shield of Crocs. They're playing so far back, though. They're giving Young and Beautiful a lot of space, but it's the space they want to give control of, and we talked about Yiquids popping off. Looking to do that as he takes out Naga. 30 seconds on that res. Hook comes in, going to return with the Hulk. Miles is at this side angle, but no one's entering his line of sight apart from Jonah in the distance. They're going for an old mano-a-mano duel.
He wants to keep the attention of Miles the time being. Hooney, he gets the hook off. That's the main advantage of having the Roadhog Orisa. And I think this point may be now Young and Beautiful, and this is exactly what they wanted. It's what I wanted to see. It's the quick take.
Yiquids, we asked, we ordered, put it in on the app, and then 30 minutes later, in fact, no, 5 minutes later, you get it delivered straight to your door, hot and fresh. Yiquids popping off like we wanted, and it's going to get Yab an attempt at point B.
Not to your neighbor, not to your safe place, straight through the letterbox, mate. Choose Money Crew here. They don't have any ultimates, though, to delay on point B, right? So Gustav knows this, makes a switch over to the Zenyatta. And as we know, like, it's probably one of the more quicker charging ultimates if you are decent on it, but we'll switch back over to the Mercy. Looks like Choose Money Crew want to rely on that Pharah Mercy that they've been using so far.
But more immediately, Blank, they're looking towards Obling. He's about to get the Blizzard online. That has to be the thing that kills the momentum for Young and Beautiful. Yiquids got the Dragons online. We'll receive an armor pack to keep himself up because he's getting a lot of focus right now as Crandall will put his first foot on that point. Yiquids has that Dragon Shot, going to plant it through that particular spawn entrance, straight through the middle. The team's been split, and in that chaos, Yab look to get further onto this point.
They really want to get that 33%. Can they take it? They can. That's actually really big for them.
So the Blizzard is in the middle of this. Crandall will take out Obling. Naga then deals with Hooney, but they're cowering behind the shield as expected. They're jumping into the backline. The Nano Barrage from Naga in the backline is huge. They wanted to take cover in the back. They just couldn't do it. And now they're going to be shut down by the might of SMC.
A huge misplay, though, from Choose Money Crew. They could have had someone on the point there, but instead, they freely give over the 33%. That could be disastrous as we come into the next 4 minutes of Choose Money Crew.
It has amazing implications for them, but the rate of pace that SMC have, they've got to be feeling good about that one, Blank. They shut down another attempt. I think they're backing themselves here to get that point A capture and surpass what Yab did because they're going to need to. The draw isn't an option for them. They now have to force it out beyond 45.8.
The point A was very fast, like you say, for Choose Money Crew here. So Young and Beautiful, what they have to do now is be stalwart on point A. They've got to get more than just 1 minute stall here. And to do that, I think they need to start abusing those sightlines a little more and not relying on just cycling out members and basically slowly losing a fight. I don't think that's the way. I think Jonah is a great hit scan. Throughout the season, even when they've been down and out in games, he's still been popping off against some of the best Widowmakers. So I think you just give him a little bit more space, and it looks like Young and Beautiful, they are going to go straight over to this classic Clockwork Vendetta composition.
Attackers incoming.
The difference being with this one and how they're formatting it is they're actually putting the stock into their damage dealer to be able to play the Widowmaker rather than relying on one of their supports. It's actually going to be Hooney, a support, taking over the responsibilities of the Mei. So these teams are still recreating the comps, but they're relying on different players because they've obviously got a different skill set than that of the original CV team.
We've already seen 3 players in Young and Beautiful play Roadhog so far. Now we've got Morphle, we had Hooney and Yiquids. So it's nice to see the diversity of Young and Beautiful and what they're bringing to the table. Shoes Money Crew, what will hamper them here is the fact that Naga's going to be constantly being peppered by the turret. And really, that's what Yiquitz is here for at the moment. He wants to create pressure on that fire in the sky. So even when Jonah's not hitting the shots, you have a surefire way to do damage. Shoes Money Crew know this. They make the switches.
Based on the turret positioning, though, like, he would have been fine. If you want to send Crocs in there, he'll be the one to take the aggro first, and Naga would be free. But of course, he can't tank that for too long. But like I said, Blank, they're going to switch over the composition now, apply a lot of pressure to the shield of Cramdop, and make Yab play around terrain rather than their optional cover. You're going to do the exact same thing here. Burst through the shield of SMC. The hook already comes in, and Huni, one of your most survivable members, goes down first.
He's the guy that's meant to put up the wall and prevent the hook. We've seen it from Turbo and many other teams. Naga has to die here.
And that's exactly what Malt's going to deliver there. Nice headshot with the shrapnel. Oblin takes out Yiquitz now as well. FD God. I think he's still got the res in his pocket, but he's not actually gone ahead and used it yet. Jonah takes out Mal, so they will stem the flow of SMC, who will slowly walk forward. This is a much slower paced aggression coming out from SMC. Tempered, as Oblin will now find FD God. No more healing. The survivability is there for Yab, but they can't replenish the health they're going to lose beyond health packs.
Infrasight does come out, so Jonah does have eyes on them. Out comes the window, providing a lot of damage.
Just being blasted now, and they're able to step on the point gently. The sight lines from Obling is great. He's got the crossfire to boot. Will poke it through those tiny holes and keep everyone guessing where this damage is going to come from. Crandall, he's got no HP because he hasn't got the heals, and now Naga can deal with him handedly. This is going to be the point A capture coming in, and SMC, they're going to have over 2 minutes to try and get that 45.8%.
We've casted so much CV, Tridd, and we know the whole hug is great for. Morphic actually panicked, used it at the end. Now it's not able to use it to push them off once they take space, which is actually a huge thing. Naga's going to be able to walk up as well alongside the supercharger.
And it's not going to buy the time that Yiquitz needs to get that Molten Core online. Huni may get the Blizzard off here if he's lucky and deals a little bit of damage, but he can't be picked off by a stray arrow from Obling.
The wall has to be good from him here. He has to prevent a lot of damage that way. Like you say, you absolutely need the Blizzard. Out comes the Dragons. Time's a ticking.
Going straight through the point. The Holt attempted to pull them together. Jonah will find Miles with the Sonic Arrow. They found 2 already, putting SMC in a disastrous position. The Blizzard will be successful. Naga being the only person to find a kill. But Yab, they have the spawn room at their back. They've deflected the first offensive, and they need to burn the time back of SMC.
Super vanilla, though. All you use is the Blizzard. Big hammer from Yiquitz slams down on Naga's head.
Just taking the mickey at that
He's
point.
taking the mickey, mate. Shoes Money Crew, they used 4 ultimates that last fight. 1 minute 31. Young and Beautiful can cycle out their own ultimates effectively. It looks like they might have a winning chance here on Temple Anubis, despite it looking so bad at the beginning.
Going to stay with the exact same comp right now. They're keeping the double snipe with the pull port combination coming in as well. I'll be the best. Will have that self-destruct online to just yeet into the back line and potentially cause some chaos. Mouse has gone down early again. Jonah keeps getting the better of him in these duels, and there's not much they can do. And I'll be the best. Maybe forced to use that ultimate, but he doesn't trigger it. Instead, he's going to stick himself right inside the immortality field and look to rework towards that mech. Obling going down nice and early, but he will be healed up to the top. Crocs now needs some TLC right now, because he's feeling the hurt. The Molten Core's online for Yiquitz. He just has to spray it over the point, and that will shut down what will be the last attempt from SMC.
And they're just staggering them big time here. They will not get another push until 25 seconds. And that is the last push that they will be deemed.
What have they got to do it with? Like, they've got the Ant Matrix coming online. They will probably get Dragon Strike, Infrasights maybe a little bit later on, but they're nowhere near Crocs' Supercharger. They could really use that here to embolden their offensive, but they're running into a wall of ultimates from Yab.
And the welcome mat from Yiquitz could prove huge here to prevent a lot of the space being taken as the walking comes in from Shoes Money Crew. This could be a big bomb, though.
There's that Supercharger. They're already at an imbalance, and Crocs has gone down. He's got no chance of getting that online. Obling takes out Huni. There's the welcome mat we talked about, but it's the turret Gustav needs to be concerned with. Naga throws the whole hog into him. The kill feed's looking awfully green, Blank, and those dragons are just saluting the pack as they fly past. Naga trying to be forced off, trying to stay alive with the take a breather. It's not meant to be. Young and Beautiful equalize the series at the half.
Just like Arnold Schwarzenegger versus the Predator there, you see Morphic walking forward with the machine gun. Takes him down, but It's a great, great haul from Young and Beautiful, and one that they desperately needed now in this series, because you need confidence more than anything coming off the back of that Nepal, where things felt like they could have gone their way, but they just didn't in the end after a great performance from Naga, and it looks like they're doing more than ever, trying to shut down that bird in the sky. I completely agree with it. It's what's created a lot of the pressure so far.
How much better does it feel, when you go into the half with a win under your belt rather than being at series point? It's so much easier to have those conversations. The morale's got to be higher, and I think everyone understands the difference that can make when you have to make changes to stay alive in the series.
And there's more time at the halftime as well. It might be a small point, but now you're feeling confident in the halftime. You've got more time to just really feel good about reveling it, talk about your improvements, what you can continue to do. But if you're coming off the back with a loss, you're going to be stewing a little bit there.
Simmering, letting the frustrations pour over. Obling putting on a show with his own Hanzo, but his damage-dealing counterpart, Mouse, couldn't quite keep up with what Jonah was dissing out. I think consistently across the board, Jonah won out these duels. Yes, you just saw Mouse get a couple of pop shots here, but I think that was the only occasion where he definitively got the better of his opposing man.
And this feels like a lot of the way games go. And we saw it yesterday. Monkmada was actually on the Sombra for 2 maps versus Asking. And when he was on the Widow, he was getting quite consistently out-dueled. However, after the half-time, he goes back on the Widow, has a really good game. And I think a lot of it comes down to how you're feeling in the moment, how you're feeling psychologically. And it feels like, to me, that Jonah's just feeling himself a little bit more. And I think that's really, really important here. And if you can continue that momentum, you continue to win those duels.
Jonah was definitely one of the star players of Yab that we highlighted throughout this season, and it's good to see he's still maintaining form as we push on into the closing weeks. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to bring you map number 3, so do not go anywhere.